Every home cook needs a few go-to recipes in their back pocket that don't miss, and this chicken and sausage jambalaya is one of mine. It's big on flavor, light on the wallet, and it comes together inexpensively in about 30 to 45 minutes. Meet me in the kitchen, let's make it happen. All right guys, jambalaya is one of the best one-pot meals of all time. Comes together quick and easy, and it's inexpensive. You can also customize this based on your preferences. So today I'm using chicken thighs because I like the fat content. As it cooks, it's not gonna get as dry as a chicken breast would, but you can use whatever you like. Chicken thighs are my go-to here. We're gonna trim them up just a little bit. Any excess fat or cartilage or anything that doesn't look enticing or like you're excited to eat it, we're going to trim that off. You can also do this with other proteins. You can do seafood versions of this. Today obviously we're doing chicken and sausage, but if you wanted to, you could do shrimp, crab, crawfish, really whatever you like, guys. Thighs are a good option though. These are actually pretty clean, so there's not a whole lot of trimming to be done. I'm gonna leave them intact and chop them up later. That way they cook a little bit more evenly. We're gonna get these in a pot. We're gonna get these in a mixing bowl and season them up. But these are looking good. These are nice and relatively lean for chicken thighs. Probably about 1.5 pounds here. We're gonna get them in this mixing bowl and then season them up. All right guys, so for the seasoning for the chicken, we're keeping it pretty simple. You're using all-purpose seasoning, just a blend of salt, pepper, garlic, and onion powder. It's low sodium, so you can be a little heavy-handed with it. What's not low sodium though is this chicken bouillon that I'm gonna add as well. That's gonna be the sodium component for the seasoning. It's also gonna enhance the flavor. It's got MSG in it, and just enhances the flavor of the chicken quite a bit. We're also going down some Cajun seasoning. We're making a Cajun jambalaya, so that just makes sense. And then a little paprika for color. Similar seasoning profile that we're gonna use in the actual jambalaya. So don't overdo it. You just wanna get some good flavor into the chicken and make sure that it gets good color when you sear it. Pop this in the fridge for about 30 minutes. It'll be good to go.
Today's episode is sponsored by Merrifield. Eating healthy can get pretty expensive. That's why I started using this app called Merrifield. And honestly, it's kind of a cheat code for saving money on the healthy brands you're already gonna buy. And here's how it works. Merrifield is 100% free and it rewards you every time you shop for better for you products. Just scan your receipt or connect your online accounts like Instacart or Whole Foods, and the app automatically gives you points for eligible purchases. And this is my favorite part. The rewards are actually super useful. You can redeem your points for gift cards to places like Starbucks, Amazon, Target, Sephora, basically everywhere you already shop. It even gives you points for all produce and all eggs, which is a game changer if you're buying fresh ingredients all the time like me. Brands you probably already buy are on here too. Applegate, Amy's, Bragg. The list is super long. So what are you waiting for? Go ahead and download that app today. Again, it's 100% free. I use it all the time and I absolutely love it. I think you will too. That's Merrifield. Download the app today.
All right guys, so when I'm doing something like a one-pot meal like jambalaya, I'm thinking about fitting everything into one bite on the fork. So for the purposes of that, I'm gonna chop down the andouille sausage into the same size pieces I'm gonna cut my chicken into. So that basically means cutting them down lengthwise and then like half moons, like you see right here. That's gonna be the perfect bite in your jambalaya. Next up, it's time to prep the veggies, and that is comprised mostly of the Cajun trinity. If you don't know what that is, it's onion, celery, and bell pepper. For me, I like to use red and green for the color contrast. We got some celery, we got some green onion and garlic as well, which aren't necessarily part of the Cajun trinity, but they're like, they got invited to the party too. So we're gonna go ahead and dice these up. All your veggies should be about the same size, that way they get tender at the same rate. Real simple, guys. Just dice up the veggies. Gonna be a delicious one-pot meal. You got your rice for your carbs, you got your protein, and you got some veggies in there. Next up, my friends, let's talk about building flavor. First and foremost, you wanna start with the sausage. There's a lot of fat content in that sausage and tons of flavor. Andouille sausage is a little smoky, a little spicy. It's got great flavor, very popular and common in Cajun and Creole recipes. We're gonna add a little bit of avocado oil and then get that sausage in there. You don't want the pan to be too hot. You want it to be about medium to medium low, just hot enough that you hear that sizzle. And you just want to allow it a little bit of time for the fat to render from the sausage. That fat is going to be the foundation of flavor for everything else. Once the sausage gets some good color, we're going to scoop it out with a slotted spoon, then sear our chicken right in that sausage fat. All right, guys, next up, let's talk about something very important. Now, there are two types of jambalaya. You got Creole jambalaya and Cajun jambalaya. Creole jambalaya typically is a tomato base. It has crushed tomatoes, things of that nature. And in Cajun jambalaya, they don't use tomatoes typically. So there's a saying like, if it's red, it ain't jambalaya. For me, I'm kind of like a hybrid. I use tomato paste, which I guess if you're a purist, makes this more Creole style, but I don't use crushed tomatoes. You know, I think they're both good, right? I just prefer it this way. I think the tomato paste adds some enhanced flavor, more concentrated, and I don't really enjoy the crushed tomatoes as much. I think the tomato flavor becomes a little overpowering and it's a little bit more wet, I guess, when you eat it. Tomato paste to me is the way to go. Going in with 2 hefty tablespoons of that. I'm gonna mix that in with the Cajun Trinity, and then we're gonna add in our garlic right after that. And then we'll start to season this. The key to this recipe is that fondant flavor at the bottom of this skillet that we've started to already scrape up. As you can see, the bottom of the skillet is already clean. That's because the moisture from the vegetables have already released, and that helps you kind of release the fondant off the bottom of the skillet. So just work your spatula, make sure you scrape up all those delicious bits of flavor, and then cook this down. Give this about a 3 to 4 minute head start, then add in the garlic. Sweat that down for a minute or two, and then add the rest of your seasoning. All right, guys, so we got the garlic in there. Now it's time to go in with those dried herbs. Quick reminder, guys, that this recipe and all of my recipes can be found at MrMakeItHappen.com. We're gonna stir in those dried herbs. They'll start to rehydrate with some of that oil. Just give that a little bit of time to bloom. Next, we're going in with 2 cups of rice. I'm using long grain rice here. Gonna stir that in. You want to toast the rice for about a minute or 2. It'll start to plump up a little bit. This is gonna help the rice start to absorb all that flavor that you got in there before we start to add in our stock. Now, if you have homemade stock, that's the way to go. Obviously, that turns this recipe into something that's not so quick and easy. But if you have some that's already in the freezer or the fridge, definitely use that. Today, we're using store-bought stock, but we're gonna season it up and make it taste great. So, gonna toast that rice a little bit. 2 cups of rice, 4 cups of stock. We're gonna season this with a little cayenne pepper for some spice. That's optional. Cajun seasoning, AP, a little buttery garlic pepper seasoning, again optional, and then a pinch of chicken bouillon powder. Once we get that going, we'll add in a little parsley and green onion, and we'll be good to go. All right, so once we add the chicken stock in there, I'm gonna throw a bay leaf in there as well, because why the hell not? Give it one final stir, make sure everything is incorporated and well combined. We're gonna bring this up to a simmer, put the lid on it for about 25 minutes until the rice is fully cooked. Then we're gonna cut up our protein, add it back in, put the finishing touches on it, and then it'll be time to plate this up. All right, guys, during the last 3 to 5 minutes, it's time to add the protein back in. The chicken is about 90% of the way cooked. I'm gonna let it finish in the jambalaya. That way it doesn't get overcooked. Sausage is obviously already done. I'm gonna scrape all that flavor up out of there. No flavor left behind. I'm also gonna add a few pinches of parsley for some fresh herb and a pop of color. I'm gonna give this one stir and let it, finish. Last 3 to 5 minutes. Just make sure that the water or the stock is nice and absorbed. Man, this looks perfect. You don't want to stir it too soon. You don't want to stir it too much because you don't want it to get mushy. But one quick stir, get the protein worked in. Make sure you got your ratios right. Make sure the rice is fully cooked. This is the part where you can season it to taste as well. And everything will cook through. It'll be time to serve this up. All right, people, there you have it. 30 minutes or less. The most delicious one-pot meal on the planet. Chicken and sausage jambalaya. We're gonna plate this up, big mound of rice, little parsley for garnish. This is the part where I say brace yourself for a trademark money shot. Say it with me, guys, looking good. The only thing left to do is dig in for the taste test, but before we do that, please take a quick second to subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that bell to enable notifications as well. All right, guys, time for the moment of truth. Going in for the taste test. Another quick reminder that this recipe and all of my recipes can be found at MrMakeItHappen.com. And without further ado, I bring to you jambalaya, or bring to me Smoky, slightly spicy, juicy. The rice isn't dry, still got some moisture in there. Man, that's good.